Hi everyone, it's November, it's fall, moving into winter. The weather is finally cooling off here in Southern California. I think I can get some peas finally planted. Now, peas in a warm winter climate are a little bit tricky because you got to get the timing just right. Definitely has its challenges. But today I'm going to share with you how to make growing winter peas easy for Southern gardeners. Let's jump in. The first challenge with growing peas in a southern climate is getting the timing right, as I mentioned. Peas are a cool weather vegetable. They love temperatures under 80 degrees. And if it's 80 or 90 degrees, they're not going to germinate. So what I like to do is start some peas indoors. Yes, you can start peas indoors so that I have transplants to pop out into the garden here in early November. And that way they go from seed to harvest a whole lot quicker. You can also plant seeds directly in your garden bed, but I like to start some inside so I get a little bit of a jump on it. The second thing to make it really easy is grow them on an existing trellis. So here I've got some endive, some arugula. I had watermelon growing over this trellis in the summertime. It's ready to come out, but I've got little shorty right in place, trellis right in place. So we're gonna remove the plants and pop some peas right in here. Now, just to clarify what a southern gardener is, that would be gardeners who live in the southern part of the U.S. that have relatively frost-free winters, but warm enough to grow vegetables. So Southern California, Arizona, Florida, Texas, Louisiana. I'm sure if you're a southern gardener, you probably know who you are. So it'll be really exciting to get all these old vegetables pulled out, get it looking nice and fresh again with some peas, and probably some lettuce or some kind of greens as well. The little shorty makes a great growing machine. Really a nice little raised bed if you live in a small space, have a deck or a patio, 3 feet long, Smart Pots fabric so it's aerated, nice and breathable. It's a great spot to grow your winter vegetables in a southern climate, especially if you've got a small space. Now, whenever I pull things out of a garden bed, I always add some new soil amendments in to help refresh the soil and provide some new nutrients for the plants. So here I'm adding some of my homemade compost to the top. We're just going to top off little shorty. And by the way, one reason I love growing in the little shorty Smart Pots is it's portable. You can put it just about anywhere on your deck or your patio in a small space. 3 feet long, it has handles so you can move it around, and I love the Smart Pots fabric. It's aerated and it really helps the plant's roots grow really nice. So it's going to be a great spot for my peas. I'm also adding in some of the vermisteria worm castings. Adds really good nutrients to the soil, and it helps my plants be healthy. So I like to add a good little mix of compost and the vermisteria worm castings whenever I plant a fresh garden bed. So here what I'm going to do is just mix it in so it gets down deep into the soil, down to the roots where the plants need it the most. As I'm mixing the soil here, I can tell it's just a little bit dry. See how it doesn't hold together at all when I squeeze it? So I am going to go ahead and moisten things down here so that my plants have the moisture they need to really get off to a great start. And then just mix it in as I go so there's no big dry spots left in little shorty here. We made quick work of clearing out little shorty and now we're ready to plant. This is always one of my favorite parts. There's 3 different types of peas that you can plant. And in southern climates, the key is the timing. So you want to kind of wait until your temperatures are generally under 80 degrees on a consistent basis. So the 3 different types of peas that you can plant are the snap peas, like the sugar anns, which are one of my absolute favorite types of peas, super sweet, delicious. You can snack on them right in the garden. The pods are edible. The snow peas, like the Oregon snow peas, these are a larger size pod and they're great in Asian cuisine. You can eat the pods as well. And then there's also the shelling peas. So here we have the little marble peas, which work great in a container. So we're going to plant all 3 different types of varieties. You can also pop them in from seed. So grab my pea seed collection. All different types of varieties are in here. You got 5 different types for you to plant. So first, let's pop in the sugar anns. Again, one of my favorites. And you want to plant them at the base of a trellis. There's lots of different things you can use for trellises. There's 2 pieces of ladder mesh, which you can grab in the masonry department at most hardware stores. It's attached in the middle with a cable tie, so super easy, super inexpensive. I've attached it all the way up the ladder. It's 2 pieces attached together, and then formed in the shape of an arch over little shorty. So it really makes the perfect trellis for this 3-foot little shorty raised bed, and super inexpensive as well. You can also use an old sunflower stalk, a cattle panel, a tomato, a trellis that you might already have in place, and then just pop your pea transplants right in place at the base of the trellis. You do want to be kind of careful as you're taking them out of your 6-pack, but believe it or not, these pea transplants are only 2 weeks old, grown in the house and hardened off. So they do grow super, super fast while you're waiting for the weather to cool off in your area. Starting from seed indoors is a really great option. So just pop them in there. They do have fairly shallow roots, so you do want to make sure that the soil is moistened, I'd say at least 3 or 4 inches down really, really well. I like to plant them a couple inches apart. You can plant them a little bit closer together in a container because what they do is they kind of wind around each other and support each other, actually making the plants stronger as they grow. And I just love this little shovel. It was in the Grow Your Groceries with CaliKim subscription box a few months back. So you really don't want to miss those boxes. There's always tons of fun surprises in there. And the November box is now available. It's a microgreens theme for indoor growing. You get $5 off with the code NovemberBox over at CaliKimGardenandHome.com. Same song, second verse on the other side of the trellis here, but we're going to plant a different variety. The Oregon sugar pod pea, beautiful snow pea, absolutely delicious. It is a larger plant. So this is going to be really fun because these pea plants are going to wind around over the trellis, meet in the middle, and be absolutely beautiful in little shorty. So we're going to plant one of these and also a couple of the royal snow peas, which are really pretty purple potted pea. And these are all in my pea seed collection. They're 20% off right now with the code Indoor Garden. Besides having the transplants in here, I'm also going to pop some seeds in. That way I have plants growing at different stages and I don't have too many peas to harvest at once. And I also like to have plants just in case some die from the heat, die from the bugs or the critters or what have you. So I'll just pop in the seeds here. These are the beautiful purple potted peas from the pea seed collection. You can tell the seeds are purple and imagine how beautiful the peas are. So we're just poking it down here to the soil about 1/2 inch, covering it up, and I'll plant some of these on each side of the trellis. One thing that's really important to pay attention to with peas is to make sure that you guide them up the trellis as they go for your best chance of success. So they have these little tendrils here which will grab onto the trellis, but sometimes they just need a little bit of help. So you can kind of wind them around as they grow. And if you need to, use a piece of twine or my stretchy tie tape to attach them to the trellis, and it makes it a lot easier for them just to grab on as they're growing. We've got the perfect amount of peas here in our 3-foot little shorty, 6 plants, just right. We're going to save the others to plant in another spot in the garden. However, look at all the space little shorty has. We don't want to waste 1 single inch of space. So we're going to make the most of the space in the middle by planting some lettuce. Peas and winter greens are perfect things to grow in winter climates. 2 of my favorite varieties we're going to plant in here. The Bronze Mignette from the lettuce seed collection, a beautiful purplish tinged leaf lettuce. And lettuce is super easy to plant from seed, especially when it's under 80 degrees. It's going to germinate and grow beautifully. Just take a pinch here and sprinkle along my drip irrigation hose. Kind of give it a nice light little sprinkle here. It's going to be a really, really pretty combination in little shorty. And the other variety I'm going to plant is one of my new favorites. This is from one of our Grow Your Groceries with CaliKim subscription boxes, the All-Star Gourmet Lettuce. This really knocks you out. It is a showstopper of a lettuce. Lots of different colors and textures. Actually, a couple different varieties in this one as well. You can see how the seeds are white and black. So we'll sprinkle the All-Star Gourmet here along the front of the pot. And this is going to be an absolute stunner of a combination for my winter little pea and lettuce little shorty here. We'll sprinkle it in. And lettuce you don't have to cover, it needs light to germinate, so we're just going to kind of press it down. If you want to, you can very lightly cover it with soil just to protect it from the birds and the critters. I'm just going to lightly sprinkle everything and it'll be ready to roll. It's one thing that makes peas so easy. They're quick to plant, quick to grow, and they require very, very little care. We've had lots of wind lately, so we've got lots of fallen leaves around the garden. I am going to mulch the lettuce area super, super lightly just to cover the soil and to keep it from drying out. Not too heavily though, because I want the lettuce seeds to germinate fairly quickly. Let's go all the way down little shorty here and put a little bit heavier of a covering over the peas, maybe a couple inches of shredded leaves. If you don't have shredded leaves, you can use shredded straw Don't use hay though, there's lots of weed seeds in there. You don't want to add those to Little Shorty. One way to make growing peas very easy in southern gardens is by covering them with tulle or with ag fabric. Now, I was recently inspired to do this by our video we did at Kualoa Ranch a few weeks ago with Austin. He had ag fabric over his greens to protect it from the elements and the bugs and the critters. It was the most beautiful greens I've ever seen. Now, I'm using tulle instead of ag fabric to allow more of the sunlight to get through to the plants. You can pick it up at any fabric store. It's very inexpensive. It's a fine mesh net to help protect my peas from the elements. So super easy to do. You just grab a couple yards, clip it on Little Shorty all the way around the edges so it's nice and tight. Put it up over the archway, and then you can unclip it to help to care for your peas while they grow, but leave it clipped the whole time, all the way from seed until harvest, and you're gonna have some beautiful peas. Now, if you get those random hot days, what you can do is drape a piece of shade cloth over your trellis, over the tulle to help protect it from the heat. I love how my little pea tent looks here over Little Shorty. You southern gardeners, what I want you to do this week, if it's reaching below 80 degrees in your area, is head out to your backyard, get some pea seeds planted. You're gonna be so glad you did. You'll be harvesting them in about 8 to 10 weeks. Head to CaliKimGardeningHome.com if you need seeds. Grab the pea seed collection or the lettuce seed collection. Get 20% off with the code Indoor Garden. And don't forget, the November Grow Your Groceries with CaliKim subscription box is now available. You can get $5 off with the code November Box. You get this really cool free pair of Centurion Precision Snips with your subscription box purchase. We do have November gifted boxes available too. Makes the perfect holiday gift. And also don't forget to grab Little Shorty. It's the perfect little growing machine for your winter peas. Thanks so much for watching. See you on the next video.